Okay. So here's our little projects. This is going to be our first one. This one's a little bauble, all made out of paper.
Cute.
Here's the one I made at class yesterday morning. I didn't put a
Sticker on it.
sticker on it, but this one is using the trio of tags, and says Bring on the Merry. And I accidentally used Midnight Muse instead of Night of Navy, so it's a little off on the coloring. But that'll be the first one we do. Then the second one is this one. That's the top of the box. And then the side of the box looks like this. Square. Okay. And it's an octagon.
That's cute.
And of course, you know, when you open it up, I've got it filled with some little treats inside.
Cute little kisses.
Yep. So that's the second one. The third one is this cute little tree. And I'm going to tell you that origami paper probably would work better, but I don't think it would look as cute because this is the Stampin' Up paper, and I picked paper that had a pattern on it that makes it look like a pine needle. So if you can get beyond the fiddliness of that, that's that project. This is, put the baubles over here. This is a Ghirardelli holder, and it's what they call an exploded view. It's got a magnet closure, and I'm having trouble with the magnet on one of them popping off. So make sure you use real fresh glue dots. But this just opens like this, and there's your. So it's no glue except to glue the label on, and and then when you close it, you kind of crisscross the back, crisscross the front, and then there's this pocket in the middle. And you put those dudes in there. So if you can't find Ghirardelli, then 2 of the Hershey miniatures fit in there as well.
Okay.
Now this one we didn't get to yesterday, and if that happens here as well, because this is like a 45-minute project, and I didn't want to the class to run any longer, I will still put it in your kit with directions. It's just that we just may not go through it, and I'll make a separate video for it. Okay. Otherwise the video would just be too long. So I used glimmer paper on here. Not easy to glue. Your regular cardstock would have probably been a better choice because the glue would stick better, but
I would say don't bother tying it now.
But anyway.
Right. Oh boy.
Pretty though, I like that.
And then on this side is that one. And that uses the Giving Gifts dies that we had for the last class that we made. That the last card had a window with snowflakes in silver. So that's that one.
It's called Giving Dies.
Giving Gifts dies. All right, so.
Is that in the mini catalog?
It's in the mini.
Okay, so it's only good till January.
Yeah, it's on page 71, I believe it is. 73 down at the bottom. Giving Gifts dies. It's on page 61 in the catalog.
Oh, but that's through the end of December. Then you can't get it in January.
January 3rd. It says.
January 3rd.
Yeah.
Okay, and so here it is now. But there's a beautiful card right there in the corner that they made with it. So it has,
I might have to go get my catalog so I can look at it.
so it's got the snowflake dies there. It also has some leaves that have dies in it. But here, if I can get up real close,
There's Santa and his reindeer.
yeah, there's Santa and his reindeer. So it has the snowflakes and the
I'm gonna go grab my catalog.
and the
Go look at it.
ornaments and the
Pumpkins.
Santa, some leaves. Yeah,
You can use your mini,
yeah, they fit in the mini. So yes, it's $31 and it's number 156563 in there. So hopefully, if I get my timing right, I will have those all cut for you for the one we're going to make. But I think it's a pretty versatile die cut.
Yeah.
So here we go on this. This is, I don't know what you call it. It's sort of octagonal. Yeah, sort of octagonal. I'm going to use another piece of the Brightly Gleaming Designer Series paper. And you're going to get in your kit, let me put this out here. You're going to get a template like so that you can make your own, except it goes this way. Okay. They're all three are cut and scored the same, with the exception of one of them has a hole in it for the string. And you can actually take this and cut it because it is true to size. So if you want to take that out to lay it out, that would be good. Or you can just leave it like it is, but I would take a piece of cardstock and maybe run it through your copy machine and copy it onto the cardstock and then cut it out just for your pattern. So
or freezer paper.
Whatever will score well, that's
Okay. Oh, okay.
okay. So I have that one's done, that one's done, and that one's done. Those have been scored, and I'm going to show you how you do that circular portion. This is the one of a layering circle size. But you know what? You could use anything that's this size that you can hold up to your template and get the same curve on. This is a looks like a 2 5/8 outside circle. Maybe the lid from a ball jar would work.
Okay.
I don't know. I didn't try it, but that's something that you could trace around real easy. And you just you just lay the circle on here so that the edges are just close enough that you can get your fine tip of your scoring tool around the outside edge. And you do it here and here, here and here. Then on this short edge, shorter. So on this short edge, you're going to put a piece of tearing tape right in here, right up next to that. But what you're going to do is fold these on the score mark, just on the up and down ones. So you'd have that all folded. I'm going to orient this same way so that that you want to take and hold up on here. And then you can punch that hole out. Either that or you can just draw an X across that and then find the center. So then you have your hole in there. You're going to find a piece of ribbon. I thought this copper braided trim would look really nice because the actual color of this is copper and the gold didn't really match as well as the copper does. So your preference. Not. And then we're going to make, you remember in school we had those little reinforcers?
Oh, yeah. For those notebook holes that kept ripping.
Right. Well, we're going to do the same kind of thing with, with this. And all you need is a scrap of any kind of paper or cardstock. You're going to punch an 1/8 inch hole. And then you're going to take your 1/2 inch punch around it. Voila, reinforcer. And then you have to thread the ribbon through. That's
I probably actually have some stashed somewhere.
they need to be pretty stiff, you know. So then you feed that through that hole in your actual piece. So this piece of ribbon is about 10 inches, by the way, just in case you want to put it from the inside to the outside. There. Okay. So then you're going to match this up so that the how did I do that? Okay. Because I put the V on the wrong side. You need to put this on the right side of it. Right up next to that fold. So that when you come around, this piece is going to butt right up against the score line. All right, so here. And there, so it's, and that was my mistake before, was on the right. It needs to be on the right side of the paper instead of the back side. All right, so then you'll take the next piece, and it doesn't matter which one. Oh, you're going to go on this and kind of kink these in on the score lines a little bit. And they kink in pretty good. It's sort of reminiscent of the bottom of one of those pillow boxes. So that's the curve, kind of curve you're going to have. And I should have done that on this one too. Which is now harder since I glued it together. All right, so you got those kind of, they don't need to be totally creased or anything, just pushed in so that you can find them. That one was hard to find. Here we go. All right, so take one of them, take the removable tape off. So now look what I find. This is going to be on the inside. This little piece won't show, thankfully. It's amazing how that works. All right, now take this off. Amazing. And hook it together in the same place. Match up that score line with the edge of the top side paper. All right. All right, now the trick to the whole thing is to get this seam to go up under so it can't be seen. So I just take my bone folder and stick it under there and keep on giving. You might have to pull from the other side, whichever way it's going to want to go for you. I think it's going to come this way.
Oh,
Through. Go in there. There it goes. Going. Take your time. It's fiddly. You're trying to get that section with the curves to come around so that it's exposed on the outside. And this worked much better yesterday too. There we go. It's going. It's going.
so we'll just watch yesterday's video.
He'll be back in first.
There it goes. There it goes. There it goes. Okay, see the seam is hiding, starting to hide. There it goes. Yay. All right, so you have a cube and now the fun begins. You just take those one side at a time. It doesn't matter where you start, and push those into their shapes. The paper is really tough, pretty tough anyway, so it takes a little bit of abuse.
I think I have that from last year. It was last year's paper, wasn't it?
Yeah, Brightly Gleaming is the name of the paper. We used it in the last class too. And this last one.
I did those cards the other day too. That blue poinsettia is beautiful.
Thank you. Of course. Of course, Robin. Yeah. There, finally. Distorted that one. All righty. Whoop, one more, I missed one. And then it just holds together by itself like that.
Cute.
All right, and then in your kit, you'll have a label that's either the bracket label punch and a circle, or you'll have something like this stamped in the right. You'll have to stamp it in the color for whatever paper you get.
You know, it'd be cute in there. It looks like a bell, is to put like a little jingle bell inside.
Well, you could do that, or you could hang another one from the bottom if you could figure out where that might be tricky on assembly though.
But if you hide one inside.
Yeah, on the back end
That'd
of
be
your string. So that's that. All right.
If you did that, then you wouldn't need a reinforcer.
Yeah, the bell wouldn't come out. Yeah, the reinforce you can also tie another knot up here so this doesn't back out on you after you put your tag on, which is what I did here. There's another knot right there so it doesn't fall through. All righty. All right, so let's see, I did green last time. Do this olive green one. This is this this box. Okay. I'm not going to go through all the measurements and stuff because you can see that it's got crazy score lines and stuff on there. Will be a template in your box. I mean, in your kit. Okay. So you just take and start folding and burnishing all the score lines. And there's a bunch of them. So the 2 that go that way and 8 that go this way. And if you're going to put something heavy in here, like a whole bunch of Hershey's Kisses, I would suggest using liquid glue to glue it rather than tear and tape. But possibly for speed and whatnot, I will maybe I'll just use glue. All right, so on the top here, you're going to start the diagonal folds. So just pinch them and go one direction all the way across. And you turn it around and go back the other way on the other diagonal. Okay, you can fold and burnish each one of those if you want. Then this one in the middle, this little short one, just gets pinched to the outside. All right, pinch to the outside on each one of those. All righty. So then your next step is to place your I don't know if I want to do, maybe I'll do plaid on this one. That's kind of cute. Or you could do this one.
Alternate them.
Huh?
Or alternate them.
Well, that might be an idea. So you're going to glue each one of those into that middle. We'll alternate it just to see how it comes out. If you don't like them, you can always glue another piece over the top of them. This particular paper was from, it was called Christmas Traditions, I think. It was 6x6 paper from a couple years ago. And you put any kind of paper you like. I'm doing this one in the old olive because I don't think I'm going to send you guys an old olive one. It's just not a traditional Christmas color in my book. So you'll get red or green. Play with this. Play with this olive one. And it's best to glue these while it is flat. All right, and then you take your scissors. buried. And you're going to cut these long ends down here, right on the score line. If the score line is wide, straddle it. Alrighty. Okay. Then you're going to turn it over and lay this over on any one of the scored lines, and you're going to put some glue on this little flap that's right here. And then take the other one and fold it over, making sure your top is even. And let the glue set a bit. And then you're going to want to reinforce the diagonal line that was there, because part of it is got that double piece of paper from where the tab was. Okay. Just reinforce that. All right, then you have to decide whether you want a ribbon or not on it. Actually, this box will close and maintain its shape, if I can get it to go the right way now here. As it'll look like a poinsettia on the top. If I can get it.
Oh, yeah, I see that. Okay.
So you don't actually need a ribbon. I liked the idea of the ribbon. Maybe you can get this all to poke out at the right place. I might have to do the bottom before I try to show this closure. Just kind of wants to go like that.
Yay.
Okay.
Oh, pretty.
And that's how you open it. Just give it a little squeeze. And it'll go, well, I poked it in too far. My opinion is use the ribbon. And to do that, you just take your 1/8 inch hole punch and you punch a hole right in the middle of each one of those little triangular sections.
And then thread it through.
And then thread it through, yeah.
So did you open your advent box this morning?
No, I didn't, not yet. My ideas of getting my coffee and getting this started, and you see from 7:30 to now, things still didn't get out on time. Okay, so the trick with the bottom, and I'm just going to fan these out so it's easier to see, and to get them out of your way is probably a good idea too. You're going to go opposites. So one of them will go in and the bottom reaches all the way across, and that will help you when you pinch it a little bit to make sure that you end up with a nice even octagon.
Okay.
So just take the opposite and flip it over, and then you can match them here on the side, and you can put your bone folder underneath to give some pressure. Or you can set it this way and do like that. Okay, so once you got one, then go 90 degrees opposite. And I put a little glue in the middle. Put the first one down. Make sure it reaches all the way across. With a little bit of a pinch. Well, we'll pinch it when I'm ready to glue it. One down. Give it a pinch. Line the bottoms up. All right, and this one, I'm going like this. Put a little bit in the middle. It's going to start to hold itself now, so you really don't have to worry too much about maintaining shape. Middle. Last one. Oop. That should be, yeah, last one. Okay. And if you don't like the way the bottom of that looks, I have included a little starburst to go to the bottom.
Look at that.
It's a good way to also reinforce having them not come apart.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
it's
with
much
glue, they
glue is on
shouldn't
there. I
anyway.
don't think it's going to be an issue.
Well, right, but it still looks more finished.
Right. Okay. Then, so as I was showing you, when the bottom is all done and stuff, this kind of goes together kind of on its own. Just, now it just sort of goes in there like so. I have had difficulty. Almost every one of them wants to go too far in there. So it won't stay like that. As soon as you pop it, it's either going to go up or down. And I've had the trouble is with mine is they go down instead of up. So that's why I keep on putting the ribbon on there. Now you look where your back seam is and go to the front, and then start your ribbon around to the front. But I found the pokey tool, so we can use that. Yeah, so we'll just think of something to fiddle with and talk about while I'm poking around here.
I'll go get a cup of heat up my coffee.
That's fine. Yeah, I'll be poking for a few minutes here. Smoother ribbon works faster, but if you're not in a hurry, this kind of grosgrain gold kind of locks everything in real easy.
Get it all the way through yet?
No, not really. I'm about 3/4 of the way through. It's going a little faster than I thought it would. This glittered grosgrain, try that. Glittered grosgrain ribbon. Sticks a little bit. So if you want to else that threads a little easier, that's good. But this one also holds its shape real well when you're tying it. It doesn't back off on you when you go to tie. So that's why I continue to use it, even though it's a little bit fiddly to get threaded.
So you go in one and out the other.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Okay.
And I go across the holes instead of, it doesn't matter. In one and out the other.
Right.
It'll work out right, no matter which way you do it. Oh, 3 more. Getting there. And this is the one that has the little real close hole to the edge. You want to, when you go in, you want to start by going from the outside in though.
Okay.
Because if you don't, your ribbon will end up on the inside instead of the outside when you go to tie it, and that wouldn't be easy. Your bow would be on the inside.
Okay.
All right, so you'll see how much easier it is to just give these a little pull. Okay. And see how the ribbon kind of sticks and holds it in place.
Mm-hmm.
And I would trim off the excess ribbon, but I don't have my sharp scissors right here, so that's not happening.
Okay, that's fine.
And here I give you 2 different labels. This is the bracket label punch, and this one is the something other punch. Modern, I'm not sure I remember which one it is. I kind of like the looks of the bracket label a little better. So we will stamp our sentiment, which says Happy Christmas, or you can use anything else that will fit. Happy Christmas is from the Itty Bitty Christmas stamp set. You want to make sure you get it straight. Haha, that's a circle. That's a joke in the stamping community. Because you can straighten it out easy enough. Put it on your label. Little glue on the back of your label in the middle, up and down. Pick a panel that's closest to the bow. I think I'll pick this one. And voila. Don't forget to put your candy inside.
Before you tie the bow.
It unties, but it's, you know, you have to, I use this to pull it out. It works really well. I'm afraid that whoever I give it to, it just may, you know, end up shredding the whole thing, but it is what it is. All righty. So then our next project is these cute little trees.
They are cute.
They are.
They are. And let's see, this is a separate piece down here. Okay.
Wow.
All right. So
And
yeah,
they have support, right?
yeah, or not. If you decide that's too much, you can set it there. It still looks cute, you know. But each one of those little sections has its own little branch under there. All right. So let me find the proper kit. Here. This is the celebration paper that was this year's, if you got it, the Christmas celebration. This was the paper that I used to make the tree. It looks like pine needles. Back side of it is the snowflakes, in case you were wondering. This is a piece of the In Good Taste designer series paper, and then 2 gold stars. Gold stars for the day. All right. Now I do have the paper scored. I don't know if you can see the score lines. And to do that, I scored it just so you could tell where it's supposed to be folded. You're going to be folding in half. And I got this from a TikTok video that was all of about 30 seconds long. So I had to watch it over and over and over and over again because you can't stop them and you can't pause them and you can't start from the middle or anything. So I had to keep on going over and over until I got the directions right. Okay, and then after you do it this way, you're going to do it on the diagonals. And then on the other diagonal. And then you are going to make this so, starting with the diagonal, you're going to turn it into a square by going like so. And then like so. And you have the advantage of
Cootie catchers.
being able to start and stop your video. So
Wayne's going to jump through showering before you call Dave.
okay. Then when you have it like this, the opening's at the bottom, you're going to take one of the folds and fold it to the middle. And the other one and fold it to the middle. There's a nice crease. Do the same thing on the other side. Sure, it starts to get a little bulky, but it still works. And then you open these back up. All right, so you flip one of these up like this and then open it up. Might want to stick your bone folder in there to get it going. Open it up and flatten it out. There'll be an opening down here. And then go to the next one. Open it up. Come on. Oh. Whee. Oh. All right. Open it up. And then there's two more. Open it up. And the last one. Open it up. All right, so when you're holding this and looking at it, I'm going to put it in the wrong position so you know what that is first. If it is solid down here, looks like it's all one piece, no opening down here, it's in the wrong position. Turn this until you find that this is completely open down here, okay? Then you'll be in the right position to do the next step, which is just cut this across. Good stout scissors on 8 layers of cardstock you're cutting through. So that's why it would have been easier with origami paper. Now the next thing you're going to do is kind of fan these out like so. And to hold this all together, because you know, it kind of goes like that, you're going to take one, I will call this branch at a time, and you're going to cut 5 slits in it. And if you look at this particular kind of paper, there's dark, 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 dark. You can kind of go from the light 2, 3, 4, 5, and they'll be nice and evenly spaced. Then you go up here to the top where the first one lets go. And you can kind of fold it to the back and get it out of your way, but this is just fold it over. Doesn't need to be real neat, but this is what locks the paper together. Okay, so you have just like that. You do that to each one of these spines or branches or whatever. Now this is the diagonal one, so but just line it up with the one that you previously did. I'm going in about 3/8 of an inch, and it needs to be parallel to the ground where you're snipping, or close to parallel to each other as you're going along there. And again, you just start with the top is solid, and then the branches all get. And again, you do this 8 times, so it gets a little bit tedious. For 5. And this one is actually going better than all the other ones, so I don't know what I did different this time than I did last time, but all right, so you would go all the way around, and I'm not going to, just so you say I did. Then you take your little stars, and I glued them together back to back, but put the point of the tree in between them. Can you see that? Okay, so this is this side, that's the back side. So when you get all the way around, you'll know which one looks the best, and which can be the front of your tree, and then decide to put one star on the front, let it set a little bit, and then put the other one up. Now I'll show you how to make this thing, which is not that big of a deal, but if you remembered how I folded the first one, everything is the same up until the cutting section. So, and you will have to have, because it's designer series paper instead of origami paper, you will have to have a bone folder and a stout pair of scissors. So on the diagonal first, make your square by poking them in. Bone folder, bone folder.
Oh, don't worry about it.
I guess. All right, so you're back at square one, and then you're going to take each side and fold it like we did on the first one. You're actually making your tree. This side. All right, and same thing with the bottom here. As long as this is open where the slit is, you're holding it in the right position. Again, you're going to take your scissors and snip that right off. All right. Now, I'm going to show you a little picture. See if that's visible. No. So we're going to go down a little bit. Move this here. All right. So that's the shape of your, that's the shape of your piece. The open ends are down here on the bottom. These are all the folded pieces. All you're going to do is cut in here, cut up here, cut out there, and take out this section right here. And you'll have a picture of this in your kit, but you're doing it through all 4 veins on one side.
Are the measurements of that important?
No, it's an eyeball thing.
Okay.
I went about that far.
Okay.
So how far is that? I don't know. Looks like a 1/2 inch, about. And you go in about a 1/4 inch, maybe like 3/8 from the center of the tree, which is nice on this paper because that is the center, is that line. And then go up another 3/8 of an inch, and then come across like so, and then cut that piece out. It's just a notch, and it's not really critical what it looks like up here because that's going to be inside the tree, but you want to make your base nice, as straight as you can. And then on the side, line up your scissors for dimension with the other side. And I have trouble cutting that way, so it's a righty-lefty thing, I think. So then you'll want to go, you can just flip the whole thing over and we'll cut from the other side. All right. So you see that's not exactly even, but that's not going to make a whole lot of difference. Now you can open it up. And we're going to run a bead of glue around this very outside edge. This is the only place this is glued. Okay. And then you just fold it all back together. Start with 2, pinch the end together, 2, 2. Do next to each other. Don't go across from each other when you're gluing it. And try to get it back to looking like it did when you started cutting. Here you go. And then I took my bone folder once more on those ends and made sure that the glue was set real well. And then you kind of fan it out into this 8-pointed shape, starburst or whatever. It's not really a star because it's got 8 points. And then you look at the bottom here and you line it up and you put one branch in each, one vein of that bottom into each branch and push it under.
They would be tree bursts.
Tree bursts. Okay, so that's all there is to that.
It looks like it'd be more complicated than that.
It was very complicated to figure out and by watching the video, but yeah, it's really pretty simple if you can understand the original folding. And if you've done origami at all before, it's pretty basic folds. And I do have your paper scored in the diagonals and whatnot for you. I may go back through and actually do the veins of the branches of the trees for you too. All right. All right. So our last one for today, and like I said, you will be getting the cute little lantern in your kit. It's a tedious process. So
That looks like a quilt pattern, Robin.
kind of. I'll bet you this woman's a quilter too. She's called the Paper Pixie.
Mhm.
I don't know if you've seen any of her work before.
No, that doesn't sound familiar.
What's it
Okay.
called?
So this is what we're going to make. This little box, it's got a magnet closure. This is called an exploding box. And it just opens up. And there you go. You got your chocolates in there. And then to put them back, you just put them in the center like that, fold the ends back, and these cross over. And then flip down. Okay.
And they hold 2 chocolates,
They hold 2 Ghirardellis.
square chocolates.
Yeah. Or because this is what I did because I thought that, oh my goodness, I'm not going to be able to find any anywhere. It also holds 2 Hershey miniatures.
Okay.
Not very miniature, so I mean, not very expensive chocolate. It's a little more economical. So if you made these to sell, these would be a lot less expensive than these. This I would probably have to charge $2 for, and this one probably maybe only $1. But there is the cost of the magnet, but you could also use a
Velcro.
Velcro. Yeah. Make it a little less expensive. So you start with a 6x6 piece of paper, and then it's scored as shown here. And let me see if I can. It's on the back side. It's this way, 2 inches and 4 inches. And then you turn it sideways and you score at 2, 2 1/4, 4 1/2, and 5 1/2. This is the 4 1/2 and 5.
So 2 1/2.
You have
That's
2
Yeah,
inches, 2 1/2.
yeah. You said 2 1/4.
All right, 2, 2 1/2, 4
4 1/2,
1/2,
and 5.
and 5. All right. But that's what it looks like. And then of course you cut out these 2 pieces. And I'm going to suggest, even though she doesn't do it that way, I'm going to suggest that you score this line here because it is a little fiddly not to score it. And so you just take a ruler, and I'm on top of a piece of fun foam. So I'm just going to go from this point here out to there on all 4 of those pieces. So it goes from the center outward. And then this is a different starting point than this one. You skip that middle section. Yeah, it's hard to find in the scheme of things here. Okay, there it is. On a little bit of a start there. Okay, so then you're going to go and fold and burnish all of the fold lights all the way around. And this one and this one. And you can use whatever side of the paper you want. This is what comes out looking like if you use this side of the paper. I haven't made one with stars, so I figured I would try to make one with stars. Now, your next step is to try to get this fold going, and that's why I decided to score it for you. You put your bone folder or something, a tweezers or something, you can hold that corner point down. So I'm holding it down right here on the outside. So this is folded to the middle. I'm holding this point right here. And then you're going to bring this piece. Yeah, I'm going to bring this piece right here. Are you seeing where I'm pointing to? You're going to bring this piece up to meet that other side. And then bring it around here on the inside and score that or burnish that. Same thing on the other side. Hold it to the middle. Find that little corner. That diagonal needs to go. There it is. Okay. And then you get to the middle. So you do that on the other two ends as well. And now you're going to a different starting point, but you're still doing the same technique. Taking it from the middle. And oh my gosh. Middle and bring, let's do it this way. Let's do it this way. Hold your finger on the outside and on the outside and then fold it on the diagonal. That would be a whole lot easier, wouldn't it?
Yeah, looks like it.
Why do I bother to do it the way the directions say, right? Let's try that again. Outside corner, bring them together. Hey, I could have had that done 10 minutes ago. So yeah, so that works best. Take the two outside points, bring them together, and that form the wall of your box. And then you have to move over to the other outside points. Okay. Interesting. All righty. So then in your kit, you're going to have a, well, it'll be silver, and you'll either get green or red. And then this tiny one here. It's for the inside sentiment. And then inside of here is a baggie with two magnets. These magnets are 1/4 of an inch wide by 1/32 of an inch thick. And to get them apart, just go like that and push them apart. They push apart fairly easy. Make sure you only have two.
Unlike the Misty magnets, huh?
Yeah, but they're made out of the same thing, but because they're small, they're a little bit easier to deal with. And I'm going to put one over here on my metal corner just so I don't lose it. And another one a little bit farther away, just so I don't lose it. And I'll know where to find them when the time comes, hopefully.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully.
So I tell you where they're at so that you can remind me. And then we're going to get out I used Elegantly Said stamp set. But you could use any that you can find a thing that will fit in the center. Like we used to have a little flowered scallop circle punch that had a bunch of stamp set that went with it that would fit in there. I forgot the name of that. But it has one that You Make Me Smile. If you can find a tiny Merry Christmas, there are some. If you wanted, like in the Itty Bitty Christmas,
I was just going to say that.
Oh What Yum would fit. The To and From would fit. Joy to the World is not going to fit. So just take your piece and make sure it says it's 100%, or go like this to the outside of your stamp and see that if it's big enough. So the thank you doesn't fit, so we're not using that one. I wanted to get out the For You, a little bit smaller out of this set. All right, so I have the For You. This time I am going to stamp it in, that is shaded spruce. Shaded spruce, which is the color that's supposed to coordinate with that. In circle, so it doesn't need to be straight, just in the center. All right, so the white onto the silver and the silver onto the color. If you have a red one, you're going to get a red foil ring. Okay. Let's just set a bit. And now we're done with the templates. All right, so to glue, let's take a corner rounder. If you don't have one, you can use, if you have a punch board, they usually have a corner rounder in the envelope punch board has a corner rounder. There's a couple new punches that have corner rounders in it. The trio punches, the ones that are 3-in-1. Or you can guess and round it off with a circle, or you can leave it square. Matters not. So you're just gonna put some glue, let's do it this way, on this top third of the label. Here. Just a little bit. And then you're going to close this up and kind of find out to center your thing right in the middle. Right in the middle, rather. Okay. There we go. Okay. Then you take glue dots. And I thought at first that this was going to be the best way to do it. And I don't know if I didn't have my candy wrappers folded well enough or smashed well enough or whatever. But there was too much pressure for this to lift. All right, so you know that these magnets have polar opposites, just like any magnet. So on the first one, it's pretty easy. You just hit and choose which way you want to put it. It's got a glue dot on the back, and you just put that right in the center of the top. Okay. Now the trick is how to get the other one lined up properly. So you're going to take this one and fold it up on the first score line here. Take this and fold it down to the second score line. And that's where it's going to be. Then you take your other magnet and you just go pop it on there, and it'll find its own place. And then you're going to take a glue dot and put it, I lost my little take a pick tool has a nice little spatula on the end of it. And if I could find it right now, I'd use that. Try again. Okay. Then you're going to open this back up side and then fold this one up, and it's going to stick down here.
The glue dot works, right?
Yeah. You do the same procedure for the Velcro thing. You could
Right.
use the Velcro as well.
Right.
Except that I don't know when you fold it, the Velcro, no, the Velcro won't be exposed. You have to do it different. You have to do it all on the front, and you'll have a spot here
Yeah.
on the front for the Velcro.
So in this case, it's hidden.
Yes, see how it's
Ah.
hidden on the inside. You see it down there?
Yep, I see it.
All right, so then you take you have one special dark and one regular. And I find it easiest to load these by folding up the back first and making the back pocket. Put them in. You see how you gotta fold these ends around, otherwise it's too bulky. And then crisscross it in the front. And if you feel your magnets right down here, this is going to come closed and you'll hear it hit.
Clever.
That's what I would suggest. That's probably what's doing it for me, is these edges of the chocolate wrappers. I don't have them both going the same way and folded neatly. And that's why it's pulling them up on the magnet. It's making too much bulk on the edge. And unfortunately, if you put the caramel ones in there, they're thicker. So they won't work. So you have to have the plain chocolate or the peppermint bark are the only ones that fit in there. So if you can't find those and you don't like the peppermint bark, then I would opt for the Hershey's
Cute.
Kismet.
Or just put one caramel one in there.
Yeah. Yeah. Who cares if it's a little on the thin feeling side? You know? Okay. So that's that.
Looks good.